Hello everyone, this is Killer Spider Venom. So, I know the previous video says, like, this is my last thing on YouTube and it was going to be a video shortly after this and it was about something else, but that was made a while ago. I didn't send it because I didn't feel like it was right. I'm going to be sending it. And this is the video afterwards. So, to clear up some discussion, there's, as the title says, there is a problem with Twitter. I am not usually one of those people that goes on Twitter, but I've been hearing some backlash there, and I'm showing a video that basically discussed the backlash. So, while I'm getting everything set up, I would just like to say that as a Spider-Verse fan, I'm not like certain people for the love of God. I don't believe we should be doing this weird thing that's going on. But also to clear up some other news as a little side bonus, a lot of people have left Sony Animations due to bad working conditions, and I think some sort of strike is going on, from what I can tell. And Sony's lost around 100 artists. Spider-Verse may not be coming out next year due to the backlash. But hey, I guess things are what they are. I mean, I adore Stan Lee's work. I love what he's done. He was a great man, and he was a legend. So, in saying that, I am sad to see what happened in the Spider-Verse community and Sony Animations. Big reason why my name is Killer Spider Venom is because Spider Venom was already a name that was taken. So I added the word killer to it because I wanted to seem badass. That was the only iteration. KSV was an entirely different thing. I used to be called Lord of the Gods. That name didn't work out. Call myself Fatal Combat. Yada yada yada. We're getting sidetracked. So, I want to point out 3 things. Gwen, Miles Morales, and Penny Parker. On the same track? They are around 15 to 16 years in age. 16 years possibly because of Penny Parker, 15 because Gwen Stacy and Miles Morales. So imagine my shock when I hear the Twitter communities and Spider-Verse communities backlash on their ages. Because apparently it's acceptable to sexualize Gwen Stacy and apparently not sexualize Penny. Apparently it's okay for Gwen to be sexualized, but not Penny because Japanese anime uwubu. Now, if you already cringed to that, you are allowed to leave. If you haven't, you're staying here. This is against your will. Anyway, so imagine my lovely surprise when I see this. This was made 6 days ago. The YouTuber is Rev Says Desu. I am not trying to discriminate or defamate anyone. I am not trying to use some sort of backlash against people. I am doing this all in my own opinion. If there's something bad I have said, or something that doesn't make sense, tell in the comments. But I need to say something about this because this needs to get out there for whoever knows about the Spider-Verse, and for those who like the Spider-Verse, whoever likes Spider-Man in general, or Spider-Men, Spider-Women, all of it. So I want to start this video. It's already been 5 minutes.
It is the character Penny Parker from that franchise. So we're going to look at several viral tweets crying about this literal child, but we're also going to look at some other tweets that really demonstrate the hypocrisy of how Penny Parker is treated. People will go absolutely crazy over the sexualization of this character, but remain silent and indifferent when it comes to the sexualization of other underage characters from that franchise, like Miles and Gwen. But we're going to start with this artwork right here, of course featuring the character Penny Parker. Now, this tweet received a lot of support, but also, as you can tell from the number of quotes, a lot of hate as well. So I'm going to link this artwork in the description. Consider giving.
So immediately by this picture, this is basically Penny Parker being held a bikini. And let me just play the remaining part.
Giving it a like and giving the artist a follow, because they can definitely use the support. So before we get into the outrage here, let me just point this out, because there's aunties in the replies and quotes saying over and over again, oh my god, this is so sexual. She's being handed a pair of panties.
First of all, that's a bikini. They did make a mistake on that. But also, I could see the outrage of people saying, oh my god, she's being handed a bikini and stuff like that. It's because most of Twitter is mainly sexualized pornography. This is where the idea comes from of, oh my god, she's being handed a bikini, is that most of what people reference here is sexualized porn. It is a reference. Sometimes this is what the artist is doing, sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it's not the artist's intentions, but other people take it a different toll in a different way. So while this may not seem sexualizing to some, this will be definitely sexualizing the others. This is exactly how I saw it at first was, oh boy, it's another porn reference, because it's Twitter. Twitter's famous for this stuff now. It's just so full of politics and porn. It's basically iFunny, but people aren't racist. Or transphobic, or... You know what? I think iFunny is just a hate site. Now that I think about it, oh god. It's almost like Reddit. Anyway.
This is a swimsuit. And if you look at what you believe is a child, fully clothed, being handed a swimsuit, and you start thinking of things like sex, you're a coomer. But nonetheless, here is one of the many responses to this tweet. This person posting this to a 40,000 likes right here, posting the age of Penny Parker from a Google search. Watch out, FBI. We have a new high-hitting detective on our hands here. Like, people will Google search the age of fictional characters and act like they just found the Jeffrey Epstein flight list. Like, it's absolutely insane. Congratulations, you found out that Penny Parker is 14 years old. You know, the thing is, the second you start worrying about the ages of fictional characters is the second you just started wasting your time, because applying real-world concepts like age to fictional characters is goofy. Like,
I'm gonna stop the video right there. While that may be true, there still shouldn't be an exception to, how do I put this correctly without like outraging people? CP / minor pornography. There still shouldn't be an exceptional line for something under the years of either 18 years old or 16 in some states and countries. Whatever the case, there still shouldn't be an exception. And by putting out an exception, you are basically letting certain people roam free in those areas. It's like having It's like that security episode from not Family Guy, The Simpsons. It's like that security camera episode from The Simpsons, but there's a blind spot. Everyone's gonna go to that blind spot because that's where everything doesn't matter. Anything illegal, any consumption of drugs or alcohol, this is basically the same thing. And by giving people a minor smidge of a gray area, everyone's gonna go to it. There still shouldn't be an exception.
What would happen to this person if the Google result was changed to 150 years old? They just changed it without any explanation. Would you have to respect that? Or, like, think about the fact that the film version of Penny Parker has been out for, like, 5 years. She's been 14 years old for, like, 5 years now. Like, does that make any sense to you? Of course not, because real-life application of age to fictional characters is just sloppy and weird.
In response to that, yes, it's sloppy and weird. Yes, real life stuff shouldn't matter to certain films. But even if it's been like 5 years since Into the Spider-Verse, like, the respective age should still be there. That's like... Let me see, how do I put this? It's like freezing a 17-year-old, or let's dumb it down and say 15 for Miles' sake. Miles was frozen for 15 years. Because he's 15. He's now technically 30. That doesn't mean you should go out and party with drinks and alcohol and drugs and stuff like that. That does not mean anything. That's like the whole thing from the blip. From Marvel's Infinity War and Endgame. That shouldn't matter. Because even while some of them were like 23 to 20 years old, some of those college, or not really college, let's say high school students were trying to drink alcohol and it was still illegal. Everyone was still their own age. That is basically going on here. It's like a blip. Just because you were when you were 15 and came back 5 years later does not mean you're 20 years old. You're still 15. It's the same concept.
And also you have a bunch of people in the replies posting the Goku memes, you know, the age of consent is 18. Number one, I didn't know fictional...
Age of consent in most areas in the world is 18. I will put that as a side note.
Characters could consent. And number two, why are you seeing what you believe is a child, fully clothed, being handed a swimsuit? Why are you immediately thinking of consenting to sex? You're just telling on yourself at this point, like you're literal coomers. But nonetheless, you have other people pointing this out. You're going to jail, buddy. And posting the age of Penny Parker. And, you know, I would ask this person, why haven't you called the police yet? But before you get concerned about me or anyone else encouraging this person to make a false report about this and actually make a call to try to turn this person in, I wouldn't worry about people like this actually doing that, because they're the type of people to get an anxiety attack if they go and talk to their cashier at their grocery store. Like, I highly doubt they're going to pick up the phone and try to talk to law enforcement, especially when they don't have any leg to stand on in the first place. But nonetheless, there was many other tweets going viral attacking this whole situation and focusing on Penny Parker. So this person over this screenshot says, the biggest mistake ever done in cinematic history was add an underage anime girl to a blockbuster movie and allow weebs to watch it.
Okay, first off, this person up here that has their name blocked out, just, there's a lot of underage people that shouldn't be watching underage stuff, one or the other. It's not a mistake. This was honestly a big way to add diversity into the Spider-Verse. Yes, I know you could say adding Miles was a big change to adding diversity because he's like, I think he's a mix of Puerto Rican and African American. I can't really remember. And then you got Nicolas Cage here. But having Penny Parker, Gwen Stacy, Miles Morales, 616, I think Peter? I think that's 616. I cannot ever really tell. And then you got Spider-Man Noir. Like, just this, it all adds diversity. I think that's what they were trying to go for in the movie. That's just what it feels like it's referencing to me. But in my opinion, this is more or less just adorable. Because one, as you can see, I forgot Penny can't stick to walls. They're both holding her up. Like, it's just honestly adorable. And then you got this guy. Which, I'm tired of calling him Noir. He's Nicolas Cage. It's honestly what he sounds like. I'm pretty sure that's the actor. This is Nicolas Cage now. Screw Spider-Man Noir. But you got this guy who's trying to make sure everything's okay, and then you got him. And if you actually look at the design of how they're sitting and propped up onto the walls, it looks like a spider.
So this screen cap here is just a cute observation. Again, like, freaking out over this is very strange and telling about you, because this is just a screen cap showing that Penny is actually being held up by Miles and Gwen because she doesn't have the same powers they do, so she can't stick to the wall like them. So it's just a cute observation that she was literally just being supported up on the wall by these two characters. And then this person is having a borderline xenophobic rant about anime girls. It's very strange to me. And also saying, like, you know, underage anime girl, talking about anything underage. Look at this screenshot. There's 5 characters in this screenshot, and 3 of them are underage. Like, why are you focusing so much on Penny Parker? It's very strange, but that sentiment, that singling out of Penny Parker for some reason, is highlighted in even more tweets. So you have another piece of artwork here that people were attacking. It's basically shipping Penny Parker with Miles, and then Gwen is getting jealous, right? And this tweet with 80,000 likes quote retweeted that artwork saying, "Into the Epstein-verse." And of course...
So, 2 points here. One, if you don't know anything about Jeffrey Epstein was I shouldn't say supposedly, is a pedophile who basically loved, you get the idea. And the biggest meme that's been surrounding him was that he didn't kill himself, and it was 2 guards that basically did it, and yada yada yada. So, second point, this does have a sexual reference into it. Some people will see it that way, some people will not. I've only been seeing this comic in Spanish. It wasn't until today I saw this in English. So, I could see people wondering, why the hell would you see it this way? Why would you acknowledge it this way? Why would you see it this way? I'm going to give you a few reasons. Reason number 1, Twitter. You see this? You see this? All of this? Twitter. That. Twitter. It is Twitter. Do not put anything past Twitter. It is Twitter. It will be sexualized. Especially since on, like, r34.xxx. So, another reason. The way the artist basically put out Penny and Miles and Gwen. Those are another reasons why some people will take this as a sexual reference. Do I agree that this should be taken as a sexual reference? Fuck no. Do I agree that this should be taken in a safe for work way? Fuck no. Because unless the artist perfectly states what the intended purpose of this artwork was, there is no damn way in hell we will know what this was referencing or used for. This very well could be used for, minor things, if you know what I mean. But nonetheless, nothing should be taken in or out of context to a certain degree. Yes, something like this could be taken sexually. Yes, this could be taken completely harmless. But let's get one thing straight. Penny Parker, comically, is 14. In the Spider-Verse, it's been 4 months, 1 year. So she's 15, possibly 16. That does not mean this should be sexualized. Does not mean Gwen should be sexualized. Does not mean Miles should be sexualized. Yes, I know there's a thing called aged up art, but even then, that is a very, very hard topic to discuss.
That's a reference to Jeffrey Epstein, one of the most infamous pedophiles in history. So let me get this straight. Number one, pedophilia is when anime girl, but also pedophilia is when shipping a 14-year-old Penny Parker with Miles, who is 15 years old. That's what we're saying here. Like, it was okay when Gwen, who is largely understood to be 15 years old, at most 17 years old, nonetheless just a minor, it's okay when she is being shipped with Miles, who's 15, but when someone who's even closer in age, Penny Parker, 14 years old, is shipped with Miles, all of a sudden that's pedophilia. That makes absolutely no sense. All of these characters are underaged.
Yes, they're all underage. However, I've never heard of shipping two underage characters as pedophilia? I've never heard of that. So, down in the comments if you think shipping two underage characters is apparently pedophilia, then let me fucking know. Because if this person is actually thinking what they are, if this person is thinking what they're thinking, then by all means, someone say something, because I've never heard of a adult shipping two children together. I have seen that throughout my life. I've seen, mothers being like, oh, there they go, those two cuties are gonna be one someday. They're gonna have, everything. They're gonna have a nice house. They're gonna have a nice children. I've heard of that. And I live in a state where that shit fucking happens. I have heard seen adults ship two, teenagers before. I've seen that. I've seen, a lot of stuff down here. Adults will do weird things, but please, someone tell me if that is, pedophilia or something like that, because I'd like to know.
It's a very strange thing to all of a sudden now bring up Epstein and imply there's some sort of pedophilia going on here when Penny's shipped with Miles. It just goes to show that a common thing I've said over time is that Twitter will demonize anything as long as it's styled with anime, manga, or any sort of similar inspirations. That's when age of fictional characters starts to matter to people, because Western-style drawings like Miles and Gwen don't get questioned half as much as anime-styled ones like Penny Parker. There is a torrent and never-ending supply of underage fictional characters like Miles and Gwen on Twitter, and nobody bats an eye. You can find tons of lewd artwork featuring these two characters, even cosplays that are doing lewd themes.
You really
Nobody
can.
bats an eye. But when something involves Penny Parker, people lose their minds, and they get angry, and they start bringing up her age like it's some sort of a demonizing thing. But they don't care when it involves these other characters, and it's pretty obvious that it's just because she's anime-styled. That's the only reason people are outraged over anything to do with Penny Parker. And honestly, it's highlighted right here. So this user is saying, how did this set off the Goku Avies? And basically, people are implying that somehow This right here is cute, wholesome shipping, but this is Coomer brain weeb stuff. Like, please, someone explain the difference to me. I just don't understand. But there's really one tweet. This is...
I think I'll do the explaining here. So basically, what people are thinking is that because this has no sexual innuendo present, and this does, whether the artist referenced that or not, they think this is, oh, Coomer brain, this and the other, yeah. We gotta remember here, Miles is like the same age as Penny here. Even I think Into the Spider-Verse, he was still considered 14. Which, let me point that out. Let me point this out. Because I know some people do not fucking get it. Peter Parker, Earth 616, was the same age when he started, and we're still using that. There was still spider porn. Spider-Man spider porn. I don't know how you're going to use it, but I'm going to use it like that. There is still that stuff using his type of body. Using his height, everything. To still justify that it's of age. He was 14 to 15 when he first started. In some universes, he started off as 15. In some, he started off as 14. But I will admit, this is like completely cute. I want this as my wallpaper. This just looks fun. But also, I think another reason why people are thinking, oh yeah, child crap and whatnot, is because of the height difference. I'm not saying short characters should be considered underage. We have LaBrava, for fuck's sake. She's 23. Actually, wait. Let me actually fact check that out, because LaBrava is like 4'3" or 3'4". I don't even know. But we all know LaBrava, short person. Yeah, first appearance 21. She is short. You wanna know how short she is? Wanna know why people think, oh yeah, this is basically hidden child porn? Because there was a whole conference about that. She is 3'7" and 3/4, or 111 centimeters. What the fuck? Obviously, yes, she's of age. But some people will legitimately think the shorter the character, the shorter the age. And well, yes, I get that. There's Tao Hao, for fuck's sake, which no one knows the age of, like, almost any of the girls. Some of them are like 900, 9,000. But most of the characters are completely ageless. Yeah, no. People honestly think the shorter the character, the shorter the age. And think it's, like, completely unacceptable. Which, if you do, that's on you, but to the creators that have specified their age, it's like, alright, they're 23. Then they're 23. That's about it. That's about all I can say. Like, I mean, for the love of God, Rose is shorter than me. Like, should she be 12? Because she's pretty short. Not going to say her actual height, but, because, you know, she might watch this and punch me in the face. Or, in her words, bean me, because let's just say she has an actual... I think she has an actual set of paw hands. I'm scared of those. So anyway.
Explain the difference to me. I just don't understand. But there's really one tweet. This is evergreen here. This is like one of the greatest tweets ever. It sums up Twitter so perfectly. It applies once again. Let's read it. I like to share this tweet any chance I get. People on this app will treat fictional characters as if they were real people, and then talk about real people as if they were fictional, and then get mad at you for knowing the difference.
So, people talking about fictional characters as if they're real people, people do have that problem. Holy fuck yes. I sometimes do have that problem. Because I will forget, because my brain runs at 1,000 miles an hour because of my ADD, ADHD, I don't even know what I have. That, holy crap, these are real people, this shouldn't be acceptable. And then it's just like, wait a minute, these are fictional people, why am I trying to apply real life logic over here? To, like, a certain degree. And then this, like, other part here. Then talk about real people as if they were fictional, and then get mad at you for knowing the difference. That, I don't see that in real life. And I'm one of those people that goes to touch grass. But I've never heard of people talking about others as if they were fictional. That's like... What? I'm sorry, someone's gonna have to explain that to me. Because I don't get it. How do people talk about real people as if they were fictional? That's like saying Nicolas Cage was played by Spider-Man Noir. Or, let's put this up here, Bowser played Jack Black. Like, I swear, that's what it feels like to me. I don't get it.
And that applies to a lot of the hypocrisy involving this Spider-Verse drama. It's just completely ridiculous. People trying to apply real-life standards to fictional characters and then demonizing and accusing people of things like pedophilia over fictional characters and treating real people worse than they do the drawings. It's just crazy stuff, but I thought it was worth exploring today, some more Spider-Verse copium, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please share all of your thoughts about today's topics in the comments section down below, and I'll see you guys.
So, that is basically the end of the video, but I'm gonna put in a few things. People attacking the artist and then not the art. You can't really attack art. And don't get me started on the people that would literally try to throw a can of soup or whatever the hell gruel that they threw at, like, some painting that apparently, like, some guy was apparently bad for, and I don't know, it's a whole can of worms I'm not willing to open in this video. But, why are people stupid? You can't really attack the art. You can attack the artist, though, but I'm not saying to do that. In no way am I saying to do that. Like, don't even attack the YouTuber that I'm even explaining in here. They've done nothing wrong. They've just explained things in a weird way. I'm just trying to clear them up. But to sum up the video, Penny, Miles, Gwen, they're all underage. And I'm going to put this out here for diversity. In most states, countries, and nations, yes, they are underage. Japan, as far as I know, they are completely of age. India, of age. Because apparently India's is like 12 years old? It was a really low number, and even I got concerned. In the United States, some states, some countries, it is 18, 17, or 16. Nothing lower. There might be one state I'm missing out that has like a 15, but we're not going to talk about it. Those don't exist. Sorry for people that live there. You don't exist now. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to have fun, trying to lighten up the mood. No, Penny, Miles, Gwen, totally underage. this is from the America standpoint. If you're in a nation that has like, oh no, 20 years old is the complete age of adulthood, you should know that for yourself. I'm sorry, I put on a Russian accent, but 20 years old, okay. Some areas in the world, it is 20 years old. In some areas, you can drink when you're 18. In some areas, you can drink when you're 25. It all depends on your state and stuff like that, where things can happen like that. But honestly, just keep most of that stuff away from the internet, because I'm going to say this, while the computer and the internet were not exactly made in America, the internet is run by Americans. And a lot of them. And it's run by a lot of others. But to most people on the internet, anything below 18, you're basically a pedophile. Or whatever the term is for any of that. Everyone just goes with pedophile, I'm going to go with pedophile. Was it prebuphile? I don't even remember. I don't care. Still, not okay to do this. Fictional, realistical, not okay. It's not. As for like aged up art, I could see where you're coming from. You'd want to make it as legal as possible, but at the same instance, can you really? Because at that point, it's like you aged up Airy and then, yeah, you know what I'm going with. Still, we shouldn't give off gray areas like this. But there's some gray areas that I guess you really can't touch, no matter what. Anyways, this thing is like almost 40 minutes, and I turned an 8-minute video into 40 minutes. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm not even getting paid to do this. I'm just sharing out my opinion, because I feel like I should, in case people get confused. This will never probably see the light of day anyway. So, yeah. In conclusion, don't sexualize minors. Seriously, that's so disappointing. And it's super sad. It's honestly terrible. Like, fictional, realistic, just... Anyway, I'll probably see all of you in a month. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm tired. I'm exhausted from even just reading and listening to this. This has gotten me over the edge. Because I made a video discussing about child abuse, and I told like 20 people, because only 20 people watched it, that it's not okay. And it's not okay to joke about it. This, even as a joke, is terrible. But anyway, as I said, I will see you all in a month, because that's probably when my next video is coming out. If not, then it will happen at some point. Anyways, see ya. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.